right, I have two case files with Mr. Bird. It's 24-02162-FY and 24-02399-SM. Both are people of the state of Michigan versus Jeremiah Bird. Appearances, please.
Barry, on behalf of the people.
Lisa Dwyer appearing on behalf of Jeremiah Bird.
Sherman Abbott on behalf of Mr. Bird. Your Honor, I haven't talked to Mr. Bird actually about my matter, so I would just ask for mine to be passed. We can do Ms. Dryer's right now.
That's that one. And then Ms. Dwyer, on your file, how are we proceeding today?
People have extended an offer to receiving and concealing 200 to 1,000, a 1-year misdemeanor, and have no objection to YTA. We didn't talk about it.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it. Your Honor, that is correct. The original agreement was that there was no objection to YTA. However, in light of the new charge that's come up in this case, I'm having some reservations regarding any approval to YTA. I would ask that the court reserve on that. Once we have a PSI and we have a little bit more information, I'm willing to reconsider, but at this point, I'm not approving it.
Ms. Dwyer, did you need some additional time to discuss that with Mr. Bird?
No, that doesn't change.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's discretionary, it's in the court's discretion, and yeah.
And Your Honor, that amended charge is pursuant to MCL 750.5354A.
That's fine. Is 2,000 on that one, or is it 1,000?
That one is, sorry, Judge. It's 200 to 1,000 is what the reduction is. 1 second. I think it's 1,000.
Mr. Bird, if you could please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Good. You can put your hand down. Mr. Bird, can you read, write, and understand the English language?
I do.
Can you hear and understand me today?
I can hear you and understand you.
Have you had a full chance to discuss this matter with your attorney, Ms. Dwyer?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the advice you received?
Yes.
You're pleading guilty to a reduced count of retail fraud between $200 and $1,000. That is a misdemeanor that carries with it a maximum fine of $1,000 plus costs and up to 1 year in jail, all at this court's discretion. Before
Your Honor, I apologize. It is 2,000.
2,000. All right. I'm sorry. So the maximum fine, Mr. Bird, is $2,000. The maximum amount of jail time, 1 year. You understand that?
Yes.
Before you enter the plea, you should also understand that you do have the right to represent yourself or be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be assigned to you at public expense. You have the right to a trial, sir, either by myself or by a jury. At that trial, you have the right to confront, cross-examine, and question all witnesses brought against you. You have a right to have the court subpoena witnesses on your behalf. You have a right to testify if you wanted to or to remain silent, and no one could say anything about you remaining silent. As you appear before the court today, you are presumed innocent of this charge. Your guilt has to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand, sir, that when you enter this plea, you give up those trial rights I just outlined?
Yes.
Once you plead guilty, sir, there will be no trial. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Are you currently on probation or parole?
No.
Are you pleading guilty today because you are guilty?
Yes.
All right. I'm also going to advise you, sir, that if you are not a U.S. citizen, a conviction of this type may have consequences such as deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, or denial of naturalization. Do you understand that? All right. Has anyone made you any promises other than the reduction in charge or threatened you in any way to convince you to enter this plea?
No.
It's your own choice to do so. Is that correct?
Yes.
Directing your attention to November 8, 2024. Were you in the city of Royal Oak?
Yes.
Ms. Dwyer, I know it's a reduction in charge here. Would you address the factual basis? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Byrd, on that date, were you driving your grandmother's car
Yes.
in the city of Royal Oak?
Yes.
And you did not have permission to drive that car?
No, I do not.
In fact, she asked you not to take the car and you took the keys and left with the car. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Is that satisfied court?
Are you satisfied, Ms. Ayub?
I'm satisfied, Your Honor. Thank you.
The court too is satisfied. The plea is knowing, voluntary, and accurate. I'll accept the same. With the potential here of YTA, I'm going to refer the matter to the court's probation department for screening and assessment. They'll meet with you, Mr. Byrd, and then I'll bring you back in person for a sentencing on a date and time after that, okay?
Your Honor, could you please mark the referral that I'd like to be present for the interview with Mr. Byrd?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so we are done with Mr. Byrd here on that file. Mr. Byrd, I'm going to get you into a breakout room with Mr. Abdo, and we'll do that. And then Miss.
And then we'll be ready on Bird, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Byrd, you can still hear me okay?
Okay.
2402162. Oh, excuse me, that's the last one. This is 2402399 SM, People versus Jeremiah Byrd.
Fair use on behalf of the people.
Chairman Abdo, on behalf of Mr. Byrd, Your Honor, takes the time and date scheduled for a pre-trial in this matter. Your Honor, I've talked to prosecutor. We come to a tentative agreement. Your Honor, my client plead guilty as charged to counts 1 and 2. Your Honor, Ms. Ayub is going to be reserving her right to give consent to HIDA. My client was 21 at the time. In order for the Holmes Useful Trainee status to be granted to my client, prosecutor needs to consent. So she's going to hold that pursuant to review of a PSI. We discussed further in sentencing. Mr. Byrd does know that he may not be granted HIDA on this matter, but still wishes to plead guilty at this time.
Okay.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Byrd, if you would again raise your right. Oh, let me just remind you, you're still sworn in, okay? You were sworn in previously this morning, so you're still under oath. Do you understand that, Mr. Byrd?
Yes.
All right. On this matter, Mr. Byrd, have you had a full chance to discuss everything with Mr. Abdo?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the advice you received?
Yes.
You're pleading guilty to 2 counts. The first is indecent exposure. That's a 1-year misdemeanor. So the maximum penalty there is up to a year in jail and the maximum fine, $1,000. Count 2, a misdemeanor charge of larceny less than 200. Maximum fine there, $500, and the maximum amount of jail time up to 93 days, all at this court's discretion. Before you enter these pleas, sir, you should understand you do have the right to represent yourself or be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be assigned to you at public expense. You have the right to trial again, either by myself or by a jury. At the trial, you could have the court, you could confront, cross-examine, or question all witnesses put against you. You could have the court subpoena witnesses on your behalf. You could testify if you wanted to, or to remain silent, and nobody could say anything about you remaining silent. Again, as you appear before the court, you're presumed innocent on these charges. Your guilt has to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand that by entering the plea, you give up those trial rights I just outlined?
Yes.
Once you plead guilty here, there will be no trial. You understand that?
Yes.
Has anyone made
I'm sure on the second one. I'm on the second one. Yeah.
Mr. Byrd, has anyone made you any promises not stated on the record or threatened you in any way to convince you to enter this plea?
No.
All right. Again, your own choice to do so. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Directing your attention, sir, to the date of.
Your Honor, I'll point you for a factual basis.
Please go ahead.
On December 17th of 2024, were you in the city of Royal Oak at the Hotel Royal Oak?
Royal Oak at the hotel.
Yep, no problem. I'll repeat it myself again. On December 17th of 2024, were you in the city of Royal Oak at the Hotel Royal Oak?
Yes.
And at that location, did you make an indecent exposure by exposing your penis?
Yes.
Also on that date, did you steal towels that weren't given to you that belonged to the Hotel Royal Oak? Value of those being under $200?
Yes.
Satisfied factual basis, Your Honor?
I'm satisfied. Ms. Ayub, are you satisfied? Ms. Ayub?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Court two is satisfied. So I am going to refer the matter to the probation department again for screening and assessment. We'll consider YTA at the time of sentencing based upon the prosecutor's position as well. And we'll see everybody back here at that time. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Okay.
Your Honor.
File is that one?
That one is Hogan, Kira Hogan.
Oh, that's right. All right. This is 25-0001 FY, People versus Kyra Hogan.
Barry, on behalf of the people.
And good morning, Your Honor. Melissa Krauskopf on behalf of Ms. Hogan. Your Honor, I'm asking that the court waive Ms. Hogan's appearance for today. We were originally scheduled for an in-person preliminary examination, and we had worked out a resolution that I do expect her to take. However, Ms. Hogan, her bond has since been posted, so she is not going to be returned to the Oakland County Jail. However, her bond was posted this past Monday. Apparently, and I don't quite have all of the details, but I will tell the court that I have spoken with her while she's at the hospital, so I can verify that she is at the hospital. She had, from what it sounds like, an extreme and rare allergic reaction to a medication that she was given at the jail. It caused a, there's a name for the reaction that it caused. I'm not going to get into it right now. What I will tell the court is that it was an pretty terrible reaction, pretty awful. And I spoke with her at the hospital on Wednesday. She did not have a discharge date yet. So I'm going to ask that we adjourn this out until perhaps, I think we had talked about, Farrah and I had talked about, I think February 7th. I'm going to ask the court to leave it in person, but I do anticipate at that point in time, it will be resulting in a plea resolution.
Are we leaving it as an exam on?
I think we can set it as a PCC, Judge.
Yeah, I think we can set it as a PCC. I think
yeah.
that, yeah.
And I'm sorry, the date you had picked out?
February 7th, if that works for the court. I just wanted to make sure there was enough time for her to get out of the hospital and be healthy enough to come to court.
Okay, that's fine with me. And we'll say in person. And bond will continue. In the meantime, I've waived her presence on your motion and explanation, counsel. I'm also going to find good cause based upon that explanation to go beyond the 21 days. So I think we're all set for today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, take care.